Welcome to 365 Language Planet. If you want to learn and use English, Spanish, Japanese, and or German, this is the channel for you. We do live stream shows every Sunday, Tuesday, and Thursday at 8:30 p.m. Japan Standard Time. In each show, you can learn great questions for talking about the theme of the show, and you can actually practice using language by writing your answers and new questions in the chat. I can't wait to enjoy learning and using languages with you. So, please subscribe and join the show. See you soon. Nos vemos pronto. Bis bald. また近いうちに会いましょう。Welcome! Willkommen! Yokoso! This is Let's Speak English, German, Japanese Live, Episode 9. The theme of this episode is 飲みます Trinken, drinking. Before we start, let's look at this month's 365 Language Planets. All right, Tetsudo, thank you for joining tonight's show. So far this month, we have 11 planets. Tetsudo, K-Workshop, Y.O., Kanmama, Takanona, Hiromi Okada, Charming, Hiroti, Takesh, K.E., and Take Agnor. Way to go! If you want to become a 365 Language Planet, all you need to do is share an idea in the chat. So, let's begin! Lass uns anfangen! 始めましょう! The first question of tonight's show is, I like drinking Japanese sake these days. How about you? Auf Deutsch, ich trinke heutzutage gern japanischen Sake. Und Sie? 日本語で、最近は日本酒を飲むのが好きです。あなたはどうですか? So, please write your answer in the chat or in the comments. Schreibe deine Antwort bitte in den Chat oder in die Kommentare. チャットまたはコメントに答えを書いてください. You have 4 minutes. Sie haben 4 Minuten. 4分間あります. All right. I like drinking Japanese sake these days. How about you? All right, Tetsudo says, I like sake flavor, but I can't drink much. Nice answer, good answer. Please write your answer in the chat or in the comments. Ich trinke heutzutage gern japanischen Sake. Und du? All right, Charmin says, I like Japanese sake, but I drink a little bit. That's probably very smart, Charmin. Nice idea. Nice idea. Okay, Workshop says, I like drinking it for a long time. I should say, actually, Sorry. Charmy, thank you for joining tonight's show. And K-Workshop, thank you for joining tonight's show too. Takanono, thank you for joining tonight's show. Me too. I like to drink warm sake in the winter. Yeah, warm sake is such a nice drink in the winter. I agree. So I was just saying, my question is a little bit correcting it. Kan Mama, thank you for joining tonight's show. Me too. I like Daijinjo. Sounds good. YO says I like drinking Japanese sake a little. Yeah, a long time ago, Japanese sake used to be very dangerous for me. I think it's because I don't know why, but maybe when I was younger, I drank too much, and so I always felt like Japanese sake was kind of dangerous. But nowadays, not so dangerous. I guess maybe I don't drink as much as I used to, so it's kind of a safe drink for me nowadays. All right, Nihongo Day. 最近は日本酒を飲むのが好きです。あなたはどうですか？チャットまたはコメントに答えを書いてください。Right. Well, nice work. Okay, let's move on to the next question of tonight's show. Oh, sorry, not the next question, the next section. So now, please write a new question in the chat or in the comments. Bitte schreib eine neue Frage in den Chat oder in die Kommentare. 今、チャットまたはコメントに新しい質問を書いてください。You have 4 minutes. Sie haben 4 Minuten. 4分間あります。So now, you can write a new question in the chat or in the comments. Hiromi Okada, thank you for joining tonight's show. Good evening. My favorites are wines, beers, and whiskeys. Sounds great. Yes, I love all of those too. Wines, beers, and whiskeys. All right, Tetsuro says, I can't drink much, but I like shochu too. How about you? I love shochu. I love shochu. Yes, this season I often drink shochu with hot water, and it's very nice drink. Sometimes too nice, So it's always, sometimes, if something tastes too good, then you kind of keep drinking it. And sometimes drink a little bit too much. That's not, so a little dangerous. But I like it. I like it too. I want to test it out. What kind of shochu do you like? For me, I often drink imo jochu. How about you, Tetsuro? All right, so okay, Workshop says, I often drink a cup of tea after lunch these days. Und du? Nice question. Usually I try to take a rest after lunch and then drink coffee. Nice question. Takanona says, these days I like to eat nuts with alcohol. How about you? Me too. Me too. Charmit says, I like drinking Japanese sake with Olden. How about you? Nice question. Me too. If possible, I think I love Olden. Only problem with Olden is sometimes it takes a long time to warm up, and then yeah, so it takes a long time to warm up. But I think Olden is a nice choice. I love Olden. Tetsuro says I like hot emo jochu. Me too. All right, Hiromikara says, what kind of otsumami do you like recently? Great question. Well, I'm trying to cut down on peanuts. And so tonight I had edamame and then some kaki no tane, wasabi flavor, and then some candy cheese, and then some peanuts. How about you, Hiromikara? Viola says, I like chatting and drinking with my friends. How about you? Nice question. Um, hmm. Yeah, I love to chat with friends and drink as well. Um, but um, you know, I enjoy both. I like chatting and drinking with friends, and I like just drinking at home uh, as well too. So I like both. I like both. All right. Well, if you're still typing, please continue and you can share your ideas in the chat or in the comments anytime. But now, let's move on to the second question of tonight's show, which is, what would you like to drink tonight? Auf Deutsch, was möchten Sie heute Abend trinken? 日本語で、こんばんは、何を飲みたいですか? So please write your answer in the chat or in the comments. Schreibe deine Antwort bitte in den Chat oder in die Kommentare. Chat またはコメントに答えを書いてください. You have 4 minutes. Sie haben 4 Minuten. 4分間あります. So this question, this is a question in preparation for our party this month. Mama says, I'm drinking coffee now. Sounds great. I love coffee. And coffee's a great drink. What would you like to drink tonight? That's what it says. If I drink, I'd like to do beer tonight. Sounds great. Simon says, I already drunk red wine tonight. Very nice. Well, now please write your answer in the chat or in the comments. Was möchten heute Abend trinken? Mika says, it's the non-alcohol day, so I drank a glass of water. Very healthy. Okay, Workshop says, ich trinken Bier. Me too. I had some beer tonight. KE says, I would like to drink umeshu tonight. Thank you, KE, for joining tonight's show. Lyle says, I'd like to drink beer and red wine tonight. Sounds great. Tonight, today is kind of a happy day for me. It's kind of like a payday kind of for me. So I celebrated with some Maru F Asahi's beer. Takanona says, tonight I like to drink some shochu mixed with hot water first and then some whiskey. Sounds great. I don't have any whiskey. I love whiskey, but I don't have any whiskey. You're lucky, Takanona. That's great. If you never tried it, I recommend to try a Madu F beer. All right. So, 今夜は何を飲みたいですか？チャットまたはコメントに答えを書いてください。I guess you could say in Japanese, 今夜 or こんばん。Right? こんばん。こんばんは。こんばん。何を飲みたいですか？ All right. But now, I drank beer first, but now I'm drinking Japanese sake. Japanischen Sake in auf Deutsch. All right, so we had shochu, whiskey, beer, umeshu, beer, water, red wine, coffee, lots of great drinks. My son loves Maru F beer. I do too. It's a good beer. It's a good beer. And I would say, I don't have the can, but Mother F has a kind of regular beer and they have dark beer. And so I like to, usually, I use my big mega jockey and I mix the regular beer and dark beer. But anyways, maybe please give your son my recommendation to mix. Okay, so now please write a new question in the chat or in the comments. Bitte schreib eine neue Frage in den Chat oder in die Kommentare. チャットまたはコメントに新しい質問を書いてください。You have 4 minutes. Sie haben 4 Minuten. 4分間あります。So now you can write a new question in the chat or in the comments. Bitte schreib eine neue Frage in den Chat oder in die Kommentare. チャットまたはコメントに新しい質問を書いてください。And as always, you can make a new question by changing my question or making a completely new question. All right, K Workshop says, what do you drink when you wake up in the morning? I drink a glass of water every morning. Great question. For me, I like to have a mug cup, and add some, put some water in the mug cup, and put the mug cup in the microwave, heat it up for 2 minutes, and in the process, and then go to the restroom, and then come back, wash my hands, and then I drink hot water. So that's kind of my morning routine. almost same as you, K Workshop. Tetsuro says, what kind of drink is there in your fridge? I have beer, super dry, and Coca-Cola. Wow, you have a super drink, super refrigerator, Tetsuro. In my fridge, we don't have a lot of drinks. I think in my fridge, maybe the only drink now is soy milk. I think that's the only drink I have in my fridge. I used to have beer, but all the beer is gone. So now just soy milk. YO says, what would you like to drink at the Vietnamese restaurant? Great question. Well, I don't drink beer at home usually. And so when we go to the Vietnamese restaurant, I think I'll probably drink a lot of beer because usually at my home, I don't drink much beer. And so kind of going to a restaurant is kind of a special occasion to do that. All right, Kate Workshop says, I drink cold water even in winter. Amazing. Takanona says, what do you want to do before you go to bed this evening? Great question. Tonight, I have a new idea. Tonight, my plan is to take a bath at 9:30 p.m. So hopefully, I'll stop watching YouTube videos by 9:30 p.m. tonight. And then I'll take a bath. Maybe I'll take a longer bath. I don't know. And after taking a bath, I'll clean the bathroom. And then, just, relax. Relax. How about you, Takanona? What do you want to do before you go to bed this evening? I want to study, if possible. I want to do some writing. Speed training. I want to do some speed training. So, yeah, I don't know. Good question. All right. Well, let's move on to the last question of tonight's show, which is, would you like to drink more tonight? Auf Deutsch, möchten Sie heute Abend mehr trinken? 日本語で、今夜はもっと飲みますか? Now, please write your answer in the chat or in the comments. Schreibe deine Antwort bitte in den Chat oder in die Kommentare. チャットまたはコメントに答えを書いてください. You have 4 minutes. Wir haben 4 Minuten, 4分間あります. Would you like to drink more tonight? Okay, Workshop says no, it's enough. Okay, that's good. Katie says speed training sounds interesting. I wonder what it is. Well, that's a kind of it's a new project I'm working on. Maybe I'll tell you more soon. Tetsuro says, I'd like to drink corn soup tonight. Sounds healthy. Good choice. So, my son is doing this book called, I guess it's called Hyaku Mas something drill. So this is the kind of speed training book for math. And so, for me, I kind of want to do this with English or languages, kind of do speed training with languages. And so that's my idea. All right, so Kanamama says, no, I'm going to take a bath after the live show. Nice idea. Kind of me too. Takanona says, I want to drink a little more. I have work tomorrow, so I'll be careful not to drink too much. Smart, very smart. Chairman says, no, I wouldn't. I drink hot water before going to bed. Very nice, good idea, smart. All right. Wyo says, after this class, I would like to drink tonight. Cheers. Prost. Kanpai. All right. So, okay. All right. So, in German, den Sie heute Abend Bier trinken? Schreibe deine Antwort bitte in den Chat oder in die Kommentare. All right. 日本語で今夜はもっと飲みますか？チャットまたはコメントに答えを書いてください。So, I just think, this is a really useful question. If we have a party at the Vietnamese restaurant, eat and drink, and then, maybe at the end of the party, you might ask, would you like to drink more tonight? Möchten Sie heute Abend mehr trinken? 今夜はもっと飲みますか? Something like that. Okay, so let's move on to the last section of tonight's show. So please write a new question in the chat or in the comments. Bitte schreib eine neue Frage in den Chat oder in die Kommentare. チャットまたはコメントに新しい質問を書いてください. You have 4 minutes. Sie haben 4 Minuten. 4分間あります. Okay, so you can write a new question in the chat or in the comments now. Jetzt bitte schreib eine neue Frage in den Chat oder in die Kommentare. Hinomi Okada says, it's enough for drinking water. I feel a bit chilly. Okay. The workshop says, what time do you want to go to bed tonight? I'm tired today, so I want to go to bed early. Great question. I don't know, tonight I'm kind of doing a big change tonight. Because usually I take my bath at 10 p.m., but tonight I'm going to try to take a bath at 9:30. So it's it might change my schedule. We will see. Tetsuro says, do you like vegetable juice? Do you have a blender? Great question. I do, I like vegetable juice, but I usually buy it. So I don't have a blender. How about you, Tetsuro? Lyle says, would you like to eat more for lunch? Great question. No, recently, when I have lunch, it's enough. I like my two, my regular lunch is like a package of tofu, 1 can of saba, mackerel, and some kimchi and mayonnaise. And that's enough for my lunch. How about you, Ayo? Takanona says, would you like to go straight home tonight or go to the next bar? Great question. How about you, Takanona? Tetsuro says, I don't have any blender too. I also like vegetable juice. Yeah, I think, vegetable juice, if you are tired, a lot of people will think, oh, I need an energy drink. I don't recommend drinking energy drinks. I think, either like black coffee or vegetable juice is enough. So, yes. I think, sometimes like, I don't know, Takanona, but going back to Takanona's question about would you like to go straight home tonight or go to the next bar? A lot of times, I think for me, that depends on how long I've drunk. So I think, the longer I drink, the more I kind of think, oh, let's go to the next bar. Let's go to the next bar. But, if I, kind of stop in the more early evening, then I think, oh, I'm very happy to go home and take a good night's rest. So back to YO's question about lunch. One of my second favorite lunches is matsuya. Matsuya's gyu meshi. I usually get the omori size, and then I bring it home and I add two like onsen tamagos and some kimchi. Very nice. Tezro says, have you ever got on a steam locomotive? Great question. I did last November, when my mom came to Japan. I got on a steam locomotive from Shinmaibashi Station to Minakami. Great trip. I recommend it if you haven't gone. So, great question, Tetsuro. Nice work. Nice work, everyone. All right. Well, that's the end of tonight's show. I know. Wow. Thank you. Okay, and so thank you so much for studying and using languages with me tonight. We have shows every Sunday, Tuesday, and Thursday. Thank you, guys. Thank you, K Workshop. And thank you, Tetsuro. Thank you, YO. Have a great night. If you haven't already, please subscribe and give the show a big thumbs up. I hope everyone has a great night, and I will see you next time. Nos vemos pronto. Bis bald. Mata chikai uchi ni aimashou. Thank you, guys. Have a great night. Till next time. Bye. Bye, Tetsuro. Bye. Thank you. My pleasure. Thank you, guys. Thank you all. See you next time. Bye.